I told you that two versions of radar video were found. One was the video of the bereaved and the other was the video of Korean Maritime Safety Tribunal KMST. The chief of the company which managed Jindo VTS also said that he could not understand the existence of two versions. Therefore, Director Kim met a person of the company which installed the radar apparatus. I made the question to him but he answered it's absurd. If so, one or both of the two videos must be faked. One source cannot generate two different copies. Why are they afraid of radar? At about 08:30, 20 minutes before the accident, Sewol radar continued watching Sewol Ferry. The radar record was saved in two storages in Jindo Control Center. This data was the core key to solve the secret of her sinking, because radar information is basically different from AIS information. GPS information from a ship tells only the antenna's position of a ship. However, radar may identify the shape and size of a ship like X-ray. If the radar transmitted waves when she shows her lateral side, more waves are reflected making a long shape. If she sails vertically, radar image appears as a narrow shape. In a word, current shape and directional change may also be identified. At the accident, KMST dispatched investigators to Jindo and collected control data including radar data. The investigation team made on the next day obtained all the track data. KMST and investigation team took the control data. Thus, the government could investigate the cause of sinking on the next day of accident using the radar data. If so, what did the government find out of the radar data? At 08:48:13, she sails with her back to Sewol radar in the northwest. Therefore, the width of reflected waves is narrow. Now, 4 degrees of right turn is only needed to go to Jeju-do. However, she showed mysterious left turn. Why did she do so? She started a sharp right turn. As she reflects much waves with a rapid turn, the yellow shape becomes long. At 08:50:33, Sewol filmed the situation. When she turned rapidly to Sewol, the yellow shape became very narrow. When she turned almost 180 degrees, she became larger and longer. This large turn was made by maintaining hard over for as long as 4 minutes. And then, somebody stealthily returned the rudder to neutral as if such veering is hidden. However, the radar recorded such truth in whole. Now, the crew was to be strictly investigated for intentionality. However, something is unusual. Was he confident of proving of his innocence with his hand in the pocket? On April 21, unnatural situations occurred. The government reported only AIS tracks with a 36-second data lost section without radar record. Surprisingly, such tracks were highly advantageous to the crew. They were quite different from radar data. AIS coordinates show the position of the antenna but the antenna is far from her position recorded by radar. When she turned to left and then right, deviation increases. When looking at AIS data only, an optical illusion is caused as if she sailed straight and then turned to right. After that, the antenna suddenly goes to significantly lower positions across the ship. When she turns sharply about 180 degrees, AIS data appear mysteriously, as if she drifted facing Byongpung Island. A radar professional said, "Deviations may occur between AIS and radar but have consistency. It's the first time for me to see such irregular deviations. Especially, it is too artificial that AIS data are made to meet the situation that she faces Byongpung Island." Easily speaking, such phenomenon may occur only when somebody faked AIS data. Meanwhile, the prosecutor rapidly indicted 15 sailors based on such wrong AIS tracks. The trial ran to a conclusion that mistake of a helmsman caused sinking. The National Assembly asked the Coast Guard radar video. The Coast Guard obediently submitted it, unexpectedly. Would the government's AIS data be found to be incorrect? This is the video watched by Jindo VTS controllers at the accident. She turns sharply to Byongpung Island. However, such situation did not occur, because radar information was absurdly poor. Sewol radar recorded her positions every 3 seconds. However, the Coast Guard submitted incomplete data of every 20 seconds. Therefore, it was not easy to find out that she turned sharply, changing her shape. As a result, wrong AIS tracks of the government were not influenced and the trial of the crew was rapidly progressed. However, the families stepped forward. They received control video through the court and intended to visit a company to convert the data into a video. However, 1 week before visiting the company, the KMST had already contacted the company. The families completed conversion without recognition of such contact. Then, an event occurred. It was disclosed that the MOF restored the tracks based on radar data. The radar video which was used by KMST for restoration was disclosed. However, this video was highly mysterious. The radar data had data loss sections like the cases of AIS data. At that time, Sewol radar had no trouble. Therefore, the video of the families was restored. Same data loss sections existed. Therefore, it was compared with the video submitted by the Coast Guard to National Assembly. The video of National Assembly had no lost sections. There was only one original copy. How can 2 versions exist? Did anybody give fake radar video to the families to protect the AIS tracks of the government? The families asked restoration company an explanation. As I said, VAR equivalent to a black box is installed. This apparatus has duplicated configuration. In a word, original copy generated 2 versions of videos through 2 storages. His explanation was not acceptable. Therefore, the video of the families was showed to a professional. A shocking fact was found. It had 2 data loss sections. The time zones of 2 data loss sections were consistent with those of AIS data. How is the probability of such repeated coincidence? It's lower than the probability to win lotto consecutive 10 times, because radar and AIS are independent systems which can never influence each other. How can independent systems show same problems repeatedly in the same time zones? Furthermore, when she passed a data loss section, that she appeared concurrently in upper and lower parts. She coexisted with 100 meters of distance each other. If such data is true, it's the art of doppelganger. Scientific explanation isn't possible, and somebody might make a mistake during generation of such data loss section. In conclusion, the family's video had high possibility that it was faked by somebody in advance. Fortunately, the data on other sections was available, and it was found she had a large turn with her back to Byongpung Island. However, the prosecutor already concluded the cause of sinking to be a mistake. Subsequently, the court passed same sentences. After two versions of radar data appeared, Director Kim visited a professional. The professional compared AIS data with radar data. The professional said that radar was developed for aiming during wars and has less than 10 meters of accuracy. However, the antenna is separated from Sewol Ferry by more than 40 meters. Especially, the section that is asserted by the government to be the drifting section shows that Sewol Ferry drifted facing Byongpung Island. Therefore, there is no way but to consider the AIS data of the government to be faked. Let's watch the video again. As shown, the AIS data of the government says that Sewol Ferry sailed straight and then turned to the right. However, radar data shows that Sewol Ferry turned to the left and then to the right. This straight tracks just before the accident was asserted or accepted by the crew, prosecutor, government, and court. However, Director Kim found this curve tracks. Let's continue watching the video. The antenna goes across Sewol Ferry and then is completely separated from her. Sewol Ferry has 22 meters of width, but her antenna is apart from her by 50 to 60 meters. The AIS data of the government says as if Sewol Ferry drifted facing Byongpung Island. The government's data is made advantageous to the crew. After the existence of two different versions of radar data became an issue, Director Kim showed the radar data of the families to a professional, and the professional found a new matter. As I said before, the government said that AIS data was unavailable for a section, but Director Kim found 4 data loss sections. In case of radar data, the government said that radar data was unavailable for a section, but Director Kim found 2 data loss sections. Upper data loss section is the one that was newly found by Director Kim and is consistent with the section for which AIS data is unavailable. As to say, for 2 sections that are suspected to have left turns, 2 independent systems show omissions of data. Such synchronized recurrence is absolutely impossible. This data is the lower part in this picture. As shown, Sewol Ferry exists in 2 points at the same time, separated each other by about 300 meters. Radar data is made as if Sewol Ferry used the art of doppelganger. The government said that the cause of omissions of AIS data might be bottleneck phenomenon or delay with congestion, but, as radar usually scans the situation every 3 seconds, the omission of radar data cannot be explained even with aforesaid causes. After Director Kim raised this issue, the radar data of VLR2, which was requested for analysis by KMST, shows neither data loss section nor the art of doppelganger like the radar data of the families. A professional said that it's more difficult to fake radar data compared with AIS data. His opinion was that such mistake might be made in the process to fake the data, and that, if he had to fake the data, he would use another safety method.